What's good, y'all? Black and Indeed, we are back. This is still season 6, episode 9 now. As always, my name is Isaiah.
I'm Tykiera.
This is Black and Indeed. So today we got a really special episode planned for y'all. This is an episode, it's really our biggest episode, like metaphorically and also physically. We got a lot of people in the studio right now. But the guests we have on today, there are also other black content creators that have been going crazy on YouTube, crazy on Instagram. I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna get into this later, but they were featured on Barstool Sports. That's a big deal for y'all that don't know. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our guests.
Cool.
I'm Nathan.russom. I'm a sophomore.
Yeah, I'm Alex. I'm also a sophomore.
Edson, sophomore as well.
And y'all wanna tell us like what's y'all's group name? Like tell us a little bit about it.
It's called Trinity. It's just our initials. And given that we're at a Catholic school, you know, Trinity not only means 3 of us, but like that aspect as well.
Yeah, we basically just record content. We don't limit ourselves. Record what we want. We show what we want. Just show our experience and our journey throughout the 4 years and later in life. That's our goal. Yeah.
That's what's
big to show our perspective, you know. Have that platform. So.
Absolutely, for sure. So I mean, we'll go ahead and get into the interview now. So y'all tell us. Like, you want to go ahead? I see you was antsy. Go ahead.
Base question, start question. How'd y'all get started? What did you guys? How'd you meet? Who was idea? Was it to make a group? You know, all that good stuff.
I would say it wasn't like one person's idea. It was like kind of like the whole group thing. We all had classes together. So when we started out, we were like, oh, you don't really see any black content when you search up Notre Dame on YouTube or search up Notre Dame like anywhere. So we're like, hey. We're amazing people, we're funny people, we're great people. So we were like, why not put that content out there? And we were like, why not? And then we just started slowly recording and it became a thing.
I think for context on how we met, we were all computer science majors. And I always like to go around filming stuff for my own YouTube channel, so I kind of introduced that idea to them and they were like, oh yeah, like we wanted to do that for a while, like represent ourselves as students here in the minority, and we kind of just ran with that.
I know, like when I was a freshman coming in, like that summer, I remember like looking up like videos about Notre Dame, like trying to see like what the school was like. And I really couldn't find much, you know. A lot of people who like looked like me, or much YouTubers at all, for real. So I feel like we kind of had like a niche market, and you know, to have our own platform to like what Edson was saying earlier, like share what we want to share, was big for us. So I think that was the main reason.
Yeah.
And so talk about some of the stuff that y'all do film. Like what is a lot of y'all's content like? What are some of the things that y'all focus on? I know y'all said, you know, it's kind of just whatever y'all want to do, a variety of things, but tell us a little bit more about some of the episodes y'all film, some of that sort of general content ideas.
I would say, well, for starters, people haven't seen like half of what we've done. We have a lot of things in the vault right now, slowly coming. You guys will see soon. But we started out with interviews, going around interviewing people, posting on TikTok. That was kind of cool at first. And then we did like longer videos on YouTube talking about different sort of topics, inviting guests. And then we also recently did an episode, so we're doing like a short film, short episode, short season type of thing. So check it out, guys. But we don't really like limit ourselves to like the type of content. I don't know if you guys want to add to that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We started like doing interviews because that was like really popular on TikTok, and like it's kind of an easy way to get the perspective of students and also weave in our own perspectives. So we started there, but like I always wanted to migrate into like higher production, like YouTube videos, like horizontal videos. So we started like doing podcasts similar to this, and we talked about like what it means to be black at Notre Dame, and like we talk about like fun stuff too. We kind of just try and make variety content.
You hit the point that I was gonna say. Literally, it's exactly something like this. Like the podcast, especially like starting off. Like we were talking about our experiences like freshman year, like, and we were just real, you know. We were unfiltered, and I feel like a lot of other platforms you can't really be as raw as you want to be. And I feel like especially for a kid coming in to Notre Dame, like they deserve to know what it's truly like to be here, you know. They want to be a minority, so I feel like our platform kind of offered that. And I feel like our connection with like the freshman class grew a lot at that time. So.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we push ourselves to be, like unfiltered. We're not really gonna like limit ourselves like, oh, you can't put out this content, like it's raw and it's the real thing, and that's what we kind of try to do for everything that we put out. Yeah.
And so going off of that, y'all talking about y'all's experience, especially being black in Notre Dame. What are some of those experiences that y'all felt like y'all talked about that you felt needed to be emphasized more, that y'all felt like for incoming black freshmen or any prospective students that are black, you know, what are some of the things that y'all talked about that y'all felt needed to be talked about?
Good question.
I would say for starters, like when like we had class, there was like not a lot of black students in the class. So for that, like it was kind of weird, especially like for me. I've never been in a place like this, so not having that much diversity was kind of weird. So a lot of people coming into this school, they didn't really have that perspective because again, like if you search up Notre Dame, like you're not gonna see what it looks like on the inside. You're only gonna see like, you know, the pretty things. So I would say we wanted to show that, and even like the dorm life as well. Like I'm pretty sure like you guys know there's not a lot of black students in the dorms. So, you know, we wanted to let people know like, hey, if you're gonna be coming here, know the real thing. And like that includes like dorm life, how classrooms are, mental health, like all different sorts of things that they're gonna be navigating. So we just wanted to put those different perspectives out.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same for me. I really wanted to like foster a community through our videos and meet people, and I think meeting Edson and Nathan, they kind of brought me into their like world of like being a little bit more social than me, because I'm typically like more reserved. So they kind of showed me that there's possibilities within that realm.
Yeah, I would say similar for me. I just I feel like being honest about the experiences that I've had here, being honest about everything, like even to like the microaggressions to like little things that people aren't really keen to, and I feel like that process, just getting used to that, also while like foregoing school, it's a lot to handle, and I feel like everyone deserves to know like what the true experience is going to be like, with the pros and cons. 'Cause obviously, like I like Notre Dame, but there's those cons as well. So I feel like being honest about that can always help people make their decision about, you know, where they want to go, because it's a 4-year commitment at the end of the day. So people should know like what they're going into, you know, not just from like the website or something.
Yeah, I totally agree. Even especially like with the pros and cons, like we put out content to show like what the true nature of Notre Dame is, but it's not only like the cons. There's like a bunch of like pros as well. So that's what we mean by like the raw footage. Like we don't want to only like show a narrative of, oh, Notre Dame is bad, or oh, Notre Dame is like this great school. You know, there's the best of both for us. So we wanted to put that out there for everybody to see.
And I just want to emphasize everything y'all said too, because we had Eddie Davis on a few weeks ago, and he talked about that same sort of stuff. You remember?
Yeah.
And he talked about how it's important for us as black students to really tell our experiences, because he said there's some white students on this campus that feel like, you know, everything is sweet. You know, like they had the same experience as us, even though we all know that we don't. So we felt that was important to talk about, and so I felt appreciative that y'all do the same sort of content too, especially that is, you know, like I said, unfiltered, is raw, and I feel like that's what we need more of.
100%.
I agree, totally.
Yeah, so far, out of what you guys have done, do you feel like you've truly impacted the community in the way that you wanted to, or do you feel like there's plenty of more steps that you guys can take to really like get out there and say more than what you've said so far?
I would say there's definitely like a lot more, especially since we're sophomores. There's a lot of things that we've been doing as a group and also individually. We just are trying to put our names out there, not only just for us as A&E, but like as black students at this school. You know, we want to show more black faces at the school, you know, show black students at higher places. Like for example, me and Nathan recently did a hackathon, and it was like a 4-group, all black students. Compared to everybody else that participated in the hackathon, it was majority, like nobody else was a black student. So like even like those individual things that we do, there's still a lot of things that need to be done, but we do those things like individually because there's things that need to be done, basically.
Yeah, I don't think we've reached even like the surface of what we want to do. I think like you were kind of teasing it earlier, but we're doing like a narrative series that's scripted and like it's gonna play out as like episodes of a show that we're gonna try and use to like showcase real experiences that we've had on this campus and kind of like dramatize them, to kind of bring like entertainment value, but also like information that people should know about.
I think I have seen like an impact, but the same is true with Edson and Alex was saying. Like there's a lot more to be done, but it is like a good feeling when like freshmen come to you. They say like, keep doing what you're doing. Like your videos, I was watching your videos before. Like I was coming. That's like the whole point, you know.
Yeah.
So to see it really happen and like people have like a genuine impact means a lot, you know. You see like the real meaning behind your work, so it makes you want to do it more, you know. But there's 100% more to do. We're only sophomores, so a lot more time, you know.
Yeah, only way is up.
And I'm gonna put this out here too. Whenever y'all working on y'all short films and stuff like that,
Yeah.
y'all let us know because we can
I'll be
act
extra,
too. You know what I'm saying? So,
I do a little song here and there.
I'm saying, whatever y'all need, we can do. We just gotta get that out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm saying.
Right now.
Absolutely. So I guess let's backtrack a little bit. Y'all said whenever y'all first started, y'all kind of saw the little TikTok trends of the interviews and stuff like that. And if I'm correct, that's kind of what got y'all featured on Barstool, right?
Yeah.
So y'all want to tell us a little bit about that experience, tell us about the interviews y'all were doing, tell us about how everything came together with y'all being featured on Barstool. I seen that thing had like 100,000 likes or something on Instagram. Like I seen it went crazy, so y'all tell us about it.
Yeah,
It
was cool. Yeah.
It was a crazy story because we were in London at the time, so we were just recording content, and then
Why were we in London?
we were studying abroad.
Yeah.
We were studying abroad in London, and then we're like, oh guys, we're in London, we have to record. Like this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So we did some interviews, and like when we were doing it, like we knew it was special. We're like, no, like this is crazy, like this is it. And then we posted it, and then we went to a concert. Like we didn't think nothing of it. We were chilling, and then Alex got a DM. She got a DM, and then it's like.
It was like a rep from Barstool, and they were like, "Can we get like
saw
the
the blue
rights
check.
to post this?"
Like, no.
Bro, we were like, nah, this got to be fake. We're like,
Yeah, we were all skeptical.
we were all
of it.
skeptical, bro. And then she opened it, and we're like, no, oh my gosh.
I thought she was lying to me. I'm not gonna lie, because I remember like we were all sitting next to each other, you know.
Yeah.
And like we had just posted it, and she showed me that it was like probably 5 seconds ago they DM'd us, you know. I was like my first instinct was like, oh, she's lying. Like it's a. I thought she should play a joke, you know. And I remember like when we had left the concert, they basically asked for permission to post it. And so we gave them permission, whatever. And like when we left, like it already had like like million views or whatever. And like when we left the concert, like we're outside the concert, I was like, this is crazy, you know. But it was a good feeling, you know. It was it was a good video. We were putting like a lot of effort on top of the classes. So I feel like we deserved it.
Yeah, totally.
It was definitely like validation that like we do have like a dynamic that people want to watch, and like given like the nature of Barstool, like it wasn't like a huge surprise that like it went viral. I think everything on there like has like over 5 million views or something. But it was more so like just telling us like this is something we should continue to do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, stop after that, you know.
Game. So
Y'all talked about how y'all went to London. How was it filming in London versus filming here? What are the same experiences, different experiences?
It was fun. Like
It was really fun. Yeah.
I just remember like that day we were doing the interviews. Like it wasn't just like we were doing a lot of interviews, you know. Like it just like that happened that I won't have gone viral.
Yeah.
But I just remember like talking to the people over there is really fun. Like learning about their culture, learning about like what they think about Americans. It was all a new experience, really fun experience. Like we gained like a lot of like interviewing. I guess like we got out of our comfort zone, you know.
I would say like another thing, like it was like way easier in my opinion. Like
Easier.
Yeah,
it was easier
people
because
want to
like,
talk to you. I feel like
when we were here, like when we first started like doing like our TikToks and everything, it was like it wasn't a struggle, but like at first like going up to people, like a lot of people were like, oh no, I don't want to be in a video. And I'm just like, all right, bro, my fault.
Library, like people would just look at you. You know?
Everybody's studying, like we have a mic.
Like imagine like you're a freshman walking around like DSLR camera, you know, mic, like doing, you know. People are gonna stare, like you're already black, you know.
Yes,
so
it was definitely harder. Compared to like when we were in London, like I was never gonna see these people ever again. So like the confidence level was up here.
Right.
We're not gonna be there that long, you know. So like we gotta get the content, like we gotta get the content, you know. So it was that drive, you know.
I think like really benefited us as well, because like when we came back, like we didn't have like no issues. Like people saw the camera, they're like, oh my gosh, I want to be in a video. I was like, oh.
I think, because they saw the Barstool thing, like they wanted to like be in the videos. I think also like when we first got to London, we kind of were struggling with like analysis paralysis. Like we coming off of like just doing interviews on campus and like those getting like a decent amount of traction. Like coming to London, like we had these big ideas, like we wanted to produce like super high quality content, and like that kind of limited us, and we delayed like shooting anything for like I don't know, like the first like 2 weeks we were there. Like we were at a point where we're not going to shoot anything here because like we've kind of experienced these things and we haven't shot them. But then like I think like in the last 2 weeks or something that happened.
It was like the last 2 weeks, like we went crazy. Like originally, like we were in the moment for like a good while, like in London, like enjoying the experience, enjoying how everything was. Like we kind of like forgot about recording for a little bit. And at the end, we're like, guys, we're about to leave soon. Like we got to get some footage. And like we all were confident that day. we went out and like everybody was interacting with us. Like there's a lot of videos that you guys didn't get to see, but like the way that the people like interacted with us, like they just wanted to like find out more what are we doing, and they were like so willing to be in the video. And like I remember like we were recording, like somebody was like walking by and like, oh, you guys are recording, can I be in it? It was like a good experience.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
I think Nathan also deserves credit for like fronting a lot of those videos. Like he was, those people like they got like really crazy at times, and like he was able to like be like the middleman that kind of just like let everyone talk and like get the most interesting takes out of them.
People get a little too crazy sometimes, you know, in London. But,
You'll notice I wasn't leading any of those videos in London because like I just wanted to like be behind the camera. They were like better equipped to like dominate that situation, like make sure everything was smooth.
I also feel like that's kind of like why our dynamic works as well. Like we all have like different sort of energy that we give off, different roles, but at the same time, like we all blend in together well. So we know what role to play, and we can easily adapt to like a different role. So like I think all three of us together, like in different environments, we make it work. Like I feel like this is the group. Like if it was like a fourth person or somebody else, it wouldn't have worked, to be honest.
All right, talk about those roles a little bit. Like, if you were to describe like what you bring, and what you bring, what would you say?
I bring the charm.
Okay. I knew he was gonna.
I don't know. To be honest, like it's just like an in the moment thing. Like, we don't really think
I'll
about
tell
it.
you what we bring. I could tell. Like, I think they're like super outgoing, and like they bring this vibrant, like bubbly energy to the videos that makes people want to give that same energy back to us. And I think I bring the filmmaking ability. I'm a film major, so I think I bring like kind of the structured ideas to the table, and they're able to tell me like, yeah, but like nobody's gonna watch that. Like that's cool. Like that's really like high level. Like that's cool, but like we gotta weave in like the heart of Notre Dame and like make sure people actually feel something when they watch this.
Like to add on to like that dynamic, I feel like it also really works is because like we're all friends and like we can all be honest with each other. And I feel like sometimes like you guys are like acquaintances or whatever, like you're working with someone on a project, like you might not be the closest, whatever. You don't want to be as honest with them. You might hurt their feelings, but like I know I can say anything to these people, and like you know they can say anything to me. I feel like that really helps our content grow because you have to be honest with yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally agree. Like we're always like whenever we record, we're like, I don't know about this. We should change this. Like we gotta keep it straight up because like if we don't like the content that we're producing, like how do we expect other people to watch it and like it as well? So we gotta be straight up.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess with that, how difficult is it sometimes coming up with like different ideas to film? Because obviously with content creation, it's all about being creative. You know, you don't want to make content that other people have made. You don't want to make things like similar to other people. So what kind of goes into that process of maybe making things easier on y'all to come up with different ideas? Like who was the creative brainstormer behind a lot of things? I know y'all said it's like a collective unit, but who kind of normally comes up with those sort of ideas?
I would say we all come up with our own different ideas. Me and Nathan, like we just shout out ideas, but you know, that's where Alex comes. You know, she keeps things structured. She doesn't do enough. Like, she makes sure we don't do anything too crazy. So she storyboards, and she just thinks about everything that we're gonna do. Like, hey guys, we should do this, we should do that. Like, we give an idea, and she goes into details with it. Like, we'll give her an idea today. She'll come like back tomorrow for a whole script.
Yeah,
I did write a script the other day. Yeah.
But yeah, like in terms of like the creativity part, I'll definitely like give it to Alex. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys. That's I'm honored.
I agree. Yeah.
I think it's definitely. I think one of our strengths is that we like bounce off of each other. I think also a huge reason why we're kind of migrating away from doing interviews and doing like scripted stuff now is because our ideas kind of outgrew that format. So right now we're trying to find inspiration and see like what the tone of our new video should be so we can like translate our ideas the best.
Yeah, and like in terms of ideas, like we have like a whole sheet of ideas like that we haven't implemented yet. So we definitely have ideas that in terms of like we don't need to think of something new, but in terms of like having an idea and making it come to life, like that's your thing.
I feel like we talk about ideas like at any time, like like you know, like I said, like we're friends, like usually together, like at the DH or in like in a hall, wherever it is. And ideas can come in any moment, you know, just like through a conversation, through whatever. So it's not really like a formal thing, you know. It's pretty informal most of the time, and those are like the best ideas really come.
Yeah, like recently, not recently, but like when we were at the DH for the episodes that we were shooting, like it literally was like, oh, I watched this. We should do something like that. Yeah. And like we're walking back to the dorm, and like it just slowly evolved into something greater. And then like once we got back to the dorm, we thought about it and we're like, oh, we should do this, we should do that. And then boom, again, she comes with a script. Yeah. She was like, all right, guys, I thought about it. I completely changed it. This is my thinking. But she uses her ideas and like just expand it. So yeah.
You guys seem to have like a really good system going. Has there ever been a point where like that didn't flow correctly and you guys were just like, you know what, like I don't know if I can do this right now. Like I need to take a break, or like I may be done. Has anything ever like that happened?
Not really. Like, I mean, we've taken times where like we're not recording, or it's like we don't really like film as much. But in terms of saying, oh, A&E should be done, that idea never like came to mind. Like, I don't know, like A&E goes like way beyond just like us recording, because like we're like a friend group. Like outside of the recording, like we hang out like even when we're not recording. These are like our normal friends. So in terms of like breaking up the friendship, that never occurred to us.
Yeah, I'd have to agree as well.
That's great. I hope it continues like that too. You know, like that's amazing.
Most of like our struggles come from like scheduling issues. Like especially now, like I made the transition from being like a CS major to a film major with like a minor in computing. So I'm like definitely more focused on like shooting stuff, and like I come to them sometimes and they're like coding and like they're like at their desk and like not necessarily like ready to go out and like make an idea. So we just have to kind of organize that, and then that's like the extent of our problems, really.
Yeah, 100%. It is the scheduling. Like sometimes she's just like, all right, guys, we're gonna film, or like we have like a specific set time, and then like she comes, she's like, all right, guys, it's time to film, and we're just like, give them like 5 minutes into like 30 minutes. And then an hour later, it was like, all right, let's film, and then she's like, all right.
Yeah, and I also like getting like several takes, like when we actually do shoot. So like when they like think like, oh, I'm gonna get back to this later, like I try to tell them like, no, like you're gonna have to do that tomorrow. Like this is gonna be an all-day thing, which it was proven to us in this episode we shot of our show, A New Era. It took like way longer than we anticipated to shoot, but I think it came out well.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it came out really well.
Oh, thank you.
I watched, I checked it out, and I put it on the Instagram too, I think, on mine at least. But it was great content.
Thank you.
That's real. Appreciate that, man.
For sure. So, do you have any more questions you want to ask? Because I kind of want to go in a different direction a little bit.
Take it. Go ahead.
Got it.
For sure. So I got 2 more questions for y'all. The first one, this is something that we're kind of starting to do now with our guests. We want to know, is there anything that y'all just want to talk about in general? Just any topic, it don't matter what it is. We had Eddie on a few weeks ago. He talked about Kanye West. Whatever y'all want to talk about, y'all talk about.
I don't want to talk about Kanye.
Can we talk about the political and economic state of the world?
Okay, Jada Smith.
right.
What do you want to talk about?
No, it's a name.
I don't know.
No, for anything on your chest that you just, sometimes you just let something out. You got it.
Dang, that's a hard one. Like out of all the questions you guys asked, that's not
That is the hardest one I got.
Really make you think of so many options.
There's a show that like is kind of inspiring us making ours. It's Atlanta. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Yeah, Atlanta, yep.
Yeah, that's something that we've kind of been drawing from, like the kind of abstract nature of those episodes. I think Donald Glover is like one of the best creatives to look up to as like a director or a writer, any sort of black creative. I mean, that's a topic. I don't know if you guys want to discuss.
We can dive into it if you want. Actually, like, talk about like why did you want to do an episode like a show like Atlanta? Like when you were talking about originally the documentary you watched?
Oh, well, originally it was to show like, because Atlanta really shows like the microaggressions of like regular life, but does it like in a really funny way, you know?
Yeah.
Like actually like an abstract way, and so like I feel like a lot of the way we took like certain scenes, like filming wise, that's what we were trying to match, and I feel like, you know, the Atlanta kind of gave us like the idea of we can incorporate like the microaggressions that we face at Notre Dame, but like do it in a way that's entertaining. So I think that was really huge for us.
Yeah, I mean, like, we, like, as black students, again, like, we're, like, in classrooms where there's not a lot of black students. And, like, even, like, not even in, like, classrooms or, like, just regular scenes, I don't know if you guys ever felt this, like you can just feel somebody staring at you.
All the time, all the time, yeah.
Especially when I have my hair out like this every day.
So like we're like, okay, we all feel that, like every black person that we've spoken to, like, yep, I felt that. So we're like, all right, let's film it, like let's show that perspective. And it's like, I don't know if they mean to do it on purpose, but it's like, I don't know, like we wanted to showcase like that happens a lot. Like, we could just be doing anything. Like recently, like we literally like we're filming something, and then like we're editing and looking at it, and like we didn't like see it at all, but like we paused and like we saw like this kid staring at us. So funny.
You're just like stopped.
Like,
oh, like he just like stopped and stared. I was just like,
yeah.
We get that sometimes when we're filming and people just walk by, they'll just stop anywhere in the
Yeah, we had someone like a few weeks ago, they were over there for like 5-10 minutes just filming us while we were recording.
Oh, no, that's crazy. Filming is crazy.
It's crazy. That's what they do.
You get that free content, you know?
Hey, man.
I don't know, like when you're filming, I understand, but like if I'm just like walking, like why are you staring at me?
I feel like the way we do it, like the exaggeration, like it makes it more clear. Like I feel like people don't really understand, like what Eddie was saying, like people think the white and black experience here is like unanimous, you know? And it's definitely not, you know? So there's a lot of things that like other people don't really see because they never have to go through. So I feel like if we have a platform where we like exaggerate those almost, it makes it a lot more evident and people, you know, can learn from that.
And like another thing like we've been trying to do is like try to like incorporate other people into our videos as well. Like we're all black, so like just getting different.
Hold up.
Just getting different guests as well.
Both ways.
Get diversity because like, yeah, like we're talking about these issues like, we're closed off, like it's only our community, but like at the same time we kind of like want to let people in, like to see why do we feel these sort of things, like why are we filming this, like so like just letting them understand and letting them be a part of that. We've been doing that in our dorm lately, so I think that's something that's really been beneficial. Like, cause like the students as well, like they're like, oh my gosh, like you guys filmed this, you guys filmed that. Like we've grown our audience, basically.
100%.
Yeah.
So I guess concluding, because we're running a little low on time, this is another thing that we really have been focusing on and we want to continue to focus on here at Black and D2 is spotlighting black students. So I want to give you all the opportunity to kind of talk about what are some of the things y'all are doing right now, not even as a group, you know, with content creation, but just in general in y'all's lives as students at Notre Dame. What have been some of y'all's biggest accomplishments so far being here at Notre Dame? To kind of just take this time to talk about those things.
On the academic side.
Any side, it could be personal, academic, whatever.
Yeah, something worth shouting out is that we all have internships this summer. In various locations. I'll start with mine. I'm going to be in California working with a company called House of Moves. And they basically do motion capture for like major Hollywood films.
Wow.
So I'm really excited about that, and I think it ties into my interests really nicely.
Yeah, and I'm going to be doing cybersecurity and risk advisory this summer in Chicago. And that also ties into like with my minor in real estate and engineering corporate. So I want to get into fintech, so that's like the perfect opportunity. And cybersecurity,
Really tough. I'm doing software engineering in Texas.
What part of Texas?
It's like Dallas.
Okay,
Like
okay.
Dallas.
Yeah.
You from there, right?
I'm from Texas. I'm from Houston, but I lived in Dallas for a little bit.
I'm gonna be in Houston, so I'm gonna hit you, bro.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
No, you gotta put me on, you know.
For sure. I got you, man. I got you on everything, for sure.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, you know, me, Edson, we just won the hackathon with our two other teammates, Jerry and
First
Deco.
place out of 15
Crazy.
teams, we came out on top.
You know, like you said, like we're, you know, one of the only black teams, all black teams, and it felt really good, to be honest, because I don't know, I feel like, especially on the academia side, like I don't know how you guys feel, but like sometimes, like especially in CS, you can have like sometimes like imposter syndrome, you know?
Yeah,
like people don't really. People always assume like you're here for like affirmative action. People always assume you're not as smart as them.
Yeah.
You know, even if they don't say it, you know, like people are really, and yeah, I've noticed people are like really passive aggressive, you know?
Yeah.
People are like, I'm not gonna tell you directly, but like you're understand from like little things they say, like, oh, like they don't think you're on the same level as them, you know? So I feel like that was a really, you know, it was a good feeling, you know, to, you know, get the first place, get the bread, you know?
For sure.
Like,
Flex.
even like after that, like we still saw like, you were like, oh my gosh, how did they win? Like,
Yeah, like, you know.
what do you mean how did we win? We did that. Like,
sure.
that's how we
I don't
won.
know. And you know, people were like smiling, like, you know, I don't gotta get mad at attention, you know, people were smiling when we were presenting, you know, but it feels good when you get that first place, you know, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you don't really pay those people no mind and you just focus on your, you know, your academics, you focus on your school, and like, you know, like people can't say anything, you know. So
that's right.
How it is.
For sure. I mean, we want to, thank y'all for coming on today.
Of course.
If y'all have any sort of last things y'all want to say, any shout outs y'all want to give to y'all's YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever, y'all pull that out right now.
Yeah.
Follow us everywhere.
Annie, Trinity,
Trinity,
on
Going
everything.
Far.
Trinity,
Going Far show as
Far.
well. It's another avenue.
I don't know, our individual Instagram, I guess, like Edson.
Alexx IG-Johnson.
The IG is crazy.
Something
I
like
mean, find us everywhere.
You guys can follow me, man.
and continue to be great, guys.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Absolutely, and I'll make sure to put all y'all's IGs and stuff, all y'all's socials, YouTube, all that in the description box for this video. But that's gonna wrap it up for us, y'all. So once again, we want to thank y'all for coming on, thank y'all for sharing all y'all stories, thank y'all for talking about everything that y'all are doing for not only for y'allself, but also for the Black community, just the community as a whole. But yeah, it's gonna wrap it up for us, y'all. So as always, we love y'all. Black is beautiful, Black is love, and Black is excellence. And we out.